All right, things just turned ugly. The kind of moment that can alter a career overnight. During the 2026 Grammy Awards, Billie Eilish reportedly said, "There is no such thing as a legal border crossing on stolen land." The reaction was immediate. Then it intensified. Clips from the performance at the Grammy Awards flooded social media within hours. By the next day, criticism had grown louder, more organized, and far more polarized. What might have been a fleeting awards show remark quickly became a national flashpoint. Now the impact may be hitting where it hurts most: finances. Multiple reports suggest that brand partnerships, allegedly totaling more than $20 million, have been paused, quietly restructured, or pulled altogether. That's not a minor adjustment. That's the kind of number that sends corporate teams scrambling. So is this just another brief internet storm? Or is it something larger? An example of how quickly a single political statement can collide with branding, business, and public perception in today's climate. When stakes reach that level, the fallout isn't just about headlines. It's about contracts, reputations, and whether controversy fades or lingers long enough to permanently reshape a public figure's trajectory. At this point, the situation grows more complicated. Her brother, Phineas O'Connell, was accused of escalating tensions by blaming the backlash on Trump supporters and angry white guys. Instead of calming things down, the remark widened the divide. Now, there weren't just one, but two viral quotes circulating. Headlines multiplied. Companies connected to upcoming campaigns reportedly grew uneasy enough that legal teams were pulled in over weekends. Several outlets claimed that Nike had been preparing a summer 2026 campaign featuring Billie and Phineas, allegedly worth over $8 million and tied to a remix of Birds of a Feather. Reports also suggested a Lexus ad in their 2026-2027 portfolio, projected at $6.5 million, was shelved. Then came rumors of a Corona Beach shoot in Malibu valued around $5.5 million. Altogether, that's more than $20 million in potential partnerships. It's important to note these figures stem from media and staff reports, not official company statements. Still, if even part of it is accurate, the setback is significant. And the damage isn't just financial, it's reputational. When one brand pulls back, others start reassessing. Momentum builds quickly. But this was only the beginning. Timing made it worse. The 2026 Grammys were already facing criticism for low attendance, and the controversy added another layer of scrutiny at a moment when the spotlight was unusually harsh. The ceremony itself was already under pressure. The Grammy Awards had been fighting to maintain relevance after years of declining viewership. Earlier in the night, Bad Bunny generated headlines. Then, Billie took the stage. The crowd responded with polite applause when she made her now controversial comment about border crossing and stolen land. Online, however, the reaction was immediate and sharply divided. Some condemned her, others praised her. Within hours, clips spread across every major platform. At first, it looked like standard celebrity controversy, a burst of hashtags, reaction videos, and 2 days of intense discourse before attention moved on. Then, Phineas O'Connell reportedly attributed the backlash to angry white men and MAGA supporters. That shifted the tone entirely. What had been one polarizing remark became a broader political clash. Supporters and critics flooded comment sections. Posts turned combative. The reaction to the reaction became its own storyline. According to insiders cited in media reports, this is when brand partners began reassessing. Executives at Nike were said to be uneasy about launching a summer campaign centered on an artist in the middle of a political firestorm. It wasn't only the speech, it was the escalating cycle of rebuttals, headlines, and counter-headlines. Reports suggest Lexus reconsidered linking a vehicle launch to a figure dominating controversy for the wrong reasons. Corona was also rumored to have paused plans for a Malibu Beach Vibes commercial after waves of online criticism and pushback. Industry analysts note that brands often step back quietly before making any formal decisions. And once again, these claims stem from anonymous sources and media reports, not official corporate statements. Still, the pattern reflects a familiar dynamic. When cultural moments turn political, companies move cautiously, especially when their logos risk becoming part of the debate. By the time anything reaches the press, insiders say the real decisions have already been made behind closed doors. According to multiple reports, Billie's team moved quickly to preserve partnerships and reassure sponsors. Some conversations allegedly ended abruptly. Others, sources claim, resulted in campaigns being postponed rather than canceled outright. But one thing was clear: the narrative shifted from music to money. And once financial headlines appear, everything changes. The debate is no longer about beliefs, it's about market value. Online, the divide deepened. Many fans rallied behind Billie Eilish, arguing she was being authentic and that corporations backing away only proved profits outweigh principles. Supporters pledged to keep streaming her music. Some even bought extra merchandise and tickets, framing the backlash as cancel culture run amok. But critics were just as vocal. Former fans claimed they removed her songs from playlists. Others pointed out that her Los Angeles home sits on ancestral land connected to the Tongva, raising accusations of hypocrisy. The conversation grew more complicated. If you speak about stolen land, what responsibility do you bear for where you live? At that point, the issue moved beyond politics and into trust. And once public trust erodes, rebuilding it is far harder than surviving a single viral storm. Marketing experts weighed in as well. Brands, they say, can weather one sudden controversy. What they fear is sustained political conflict. A 2-week culture war is far riskier than a one-night headline. Companies don't like unpredictability. They want ambassadors who feel stable. And when someone trends repeatedly for political reasons, the risk calculations on corporate spreadsheets start to shift. It rarely ends with an immediate contract termination. More often, it signals the start of quiet meetings. Public relations firms are consulted. Focus groups are organized. Risk assessments are updated. The math begins to shift long before any announcement is made. Online, users pointed to other celebrities who lost partnerships after taking political stances. Some referenced past splits between major stars and athletic brands as proof that corporations will walk away if controversy lingers. Supporters argue this will fade like so many celebrity flare-ups before it. The internet has a short memory. Within days, attention usually shifts elsewhere. Critics counter that what makes this different is the scale of the alleged financial hit. When the number $20 million circulates, people pay attention. Screenshots spread, headlines amplify it, and nothing travels faster or lasts longer than a quote attached to a dollar figure. The emotional fallout keeps the story alive. Some fans feel proud, others feel disappointed, angry, or betrayed. That range of reactions fuels the cycle. As long as arguments continue in comment sections, the headlines keep coming. In a controversy this loud, no one walks away untouched. Zooming out though, this didn't emerge in a vacuum. Award shows have increasingly become political stages. Artists often use high-profile moments to speak on social justice, borders, climate change, or other divisive issues. Sometimes those statements pass with limited backlash. Other times, they ignite something much larger, especially when business interests and public identity collide. Sometimes political moments strengthen a celebrity's brand. Other times, they fracture it. And occasionally, they do both at once. Billie Eilish built her career on boldness and candor. Her unfiltered style, musically and personally, is a major reason millions connect with her. She has never been cautious with her lyrics, image, or opinions. But boldness carries risk. Speaking openly about politics inevitably attracts some supporters while pushing others away. There is always a trade-off. Brands understand that trade-off well. Major endorsement deals typically include morality clauses and brand safety provisions. While the specifics of her contracts aren't public, corporate agreements often allow companies to reevaluate partnerships if public perception shifts significantly. In other words, exit ramps are built into the deal from the beginning. The industry has seen versions of this before. When Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem, Nike chose to back him, and the campaign ultimately paid off for the brand. But other athletes in different moments have lost endorsements and struggled to recover. The difference often comes down to timing, public mood, and whether a company believes the risk aligns with its identity. No two cases are identical. Media cycles, fan loyalty, and the ability to redirect attention toward new projects all shape the outcome. Some artists rebound quickly, others don't. What remains clear is this: Billie still commands a massive global audience. And in controversies like this, the long-term impact often depends less on the initial remark and more on what happens next. Losing a few $1 million would sting, but it wouldn't end Billie Eilish's career. The larger concern is reputational damage, especially if each new development keeps the story alive instead of letting it fade. The public does allow space for recovery, but that window isn't endless. There's also the award season factor. Political remarks tend to echo louder during Hollywood's biggest nights. If other artists follow suit, the debate could reignite. If hosts steer clear of politics, it might cool off. Brands weigh all of it: economic climate, audience fatigue, timing. They track sentiment the way traders track markets. And right now, the data doesn't point clearly in either direction. So this is about more than one speech. It's about the tension between speaking boldly and protecting a brand in an era where everything goes viral. Even her own team can't fully predict which way this swings. Here's what we know. A Grammy moment sparked backlash. Reports claim more than $20 million in potential brand deals may have been affected. Phineas O'Connell's response reportedly intensified the divide. Brands are said to be reassessing. Fans have taken sides. This likely isn't the end of her career. She remains exceptionally talented with a massive global following, but it does leave a mark. In Hollywood, money has always mattered, and when financial headlines collide with political controversy, perceptions shift quickly. It's not just fans watching. Managers, label executives, ad buyers, and corporate decision makers, the people choosing whose face appears on billboards next summer, are paying attention too. The real question now isn't what was said. It's what comes next. Does she continue speaking out, or does she pivot back to letting the music speak for her? Other musicians have navigated this crossroads in different ways. Some lean in, turning controversy into momentum. Others stay silent, letting an album or single carry the narrative. A hit song can shift attention faster than any statement, and brands may hold off on decisions until fresh music reshapes the public conversation. Time also matters. The longer the controversy lingers without a pivot, the harder it becomes to regain control. Then there's the team dynamic. Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell have worked closely since the start of her career. How they handle the next months, facing the backlash directly, staying silent, or letting the art speak will signal their strategy. Every move is being watched. Ultimately, it's a balance between loyalty and risk. Some fans remain steadfast, others have walked away. Brands weigh both sides carefully. If the reported figures are even partially correct, the stakes are real. Words carry consequences, and the next steps could determine whether this incident becomes a temporary bump or a pivotal moment in her career. How do you see it? Is this a short-term turbulence or a lasting turning point for her trajectory?